One of the biggest issues you might have if you want to drop ship to the US, but you're not in the US market, if you want to use TikTok organic and you want to sell your products in the US market and don't live in the US, and suppose you live in Hong Kong or Singapore or someplace like that, and you want to post your TikTok videos on TikTok in the US market, the problem is that you're not going to be able to be shown in the US. You're going to be only showing in the countries that you're at. Some people suggest using a VPN to get around that, but that doesn't work because TikTok can detect if you're using a VPN and shut you down, or limit the number of views you have, or shadow ban you where you only get 500 views or a couple thousand views at the most, but never go viral. Some people, seems unfair to people who live outside the US who want to drop ship in the US using TikTok, but we have found a solution that you can use. If you have a spare iPhone in your house, I don't use Android, so I haven't tested it on Android, but I know it works on iPhone. If you don't have an extra iPhone, you can easily get one on Facebook Marketplace or eBay or Mercari. You can pick one up pretty cheaply and perform factory reset. Then go out and buy a US SIM card. You can go to Amazon or eBay, buy a SIM card. Just make sure it's a US SIM card, and you can get one for around $5. I don't think it matters what provider. Just make sure it's a US SIM card. You don't need to activate it. Just put it in the iPhone. Then once the SIM card's in the phone, turn on the phone, start the process with hello, and you know the drill, setting up the phone. When they get to the part where they ask you for the region, put in US or United States. And then go ahead and set up the phone and connect with your Wi-Fi. That's not an issue. Make sure your Bluetooth is off. Then they're going to ask you if you want to connect to your Apple ID and say no. You'll set it up later. Then go to your computer, go to Apple, set up a new ID. Make sure you use a US address. Now you can go to Google and Google fake address generator to set up a fake address on the US and put it in as your Apple ID address. Then they're going to ask you to verify your phone number. There's no issue. You can put in your local phone number, even if it's in a foreign country with a foreign prefix. Just use that code. And just use your normal phone to verify. Go to your iPhone, and go to settings. Now, go to log in with an Apple ID and put in your new US Apple ID. So basically, you have a US iPhone. Next, go to the App Store, download the TikTok app, and log in. You have a US iPhone, and you have a US TikTok account. Don't use a VPN. Don't use a proxy. Tons of people on YouTube are recommending using VPNs, but they're having problems with that. And this SIM card strategy should be more than enough to get you in a US